And please bring your hands together at your heart. We'll chant as we have been doing, Asatoma Satgamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. Then interlace your fingers, point the heels of the hands straight down. And inhale, raise the breath from the lower, middle, and upper, and also gaze up. Exhale, press out and twist to your right. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, open wide and twist to your left. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, press out, stay upright, and interlace your fingers behind the small of your back. Inhale, open like a little back bend. And exhale, bow forward and release your head towards the floor. Raise the hands up off the lower back. And then inhale, rise back up, hands still clasped. And exhale, twist to your right. Inhale to center, look up. And exhale, twist to your left. Inhale around to center, rest your hands out over your knees. And release the sense of doing your practice. Come back to listening. And sense again the immediacy of sound, the immensity of the space beyond sound, and the intimacy of that in you, which is listening. Clasp the hands again. We're going to add to the sequence. Press the heels of the hands down. Inhale, rise up and gaze up. Exhale, gaze down. Keep the arms lifted. Inhale, gaze forward. Make the spine tall. And exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring the hands down behind the base of your skull so the pinkies are at the occiput. And then inhale, elbows forward and up, gaze up. Exhale, level your head, sweep the elbows wide. And then inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, center. Inhale, twist left. Bring the left elbow up, right elbow forward. Exhale to center. And again, inhale, press up, look up. Now arms wide, twist to your right, cross your left hand to your right knee. Inhale, rise up, gaze up. Exhale, arms wide, twist to your left. Inhale to center, rise up. Okay, exhale, press out. We're going to clasp the hands again behind the small of the back and inhale to a seated back bend. And then exhale, bow forward to pranam. Bring your forehead down towards the floor. Raise the arms up behind you. Then inhale, rise up, preparing for a twist to the right. Keep the hands interlaced. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. And exhale, release the hands out over your knees. And listen again to the intimacy, that which is hearing the sounds through your ears. The immediacy of sound and silence. And the immensity of the space in which it's all happening. Now we're going to do a couple of kriyas. I know that you can see the sun behind me and not me as well, but I also know that you know the practices. So the second chakra, as I said last week, the name of the warrior at the second chakra, his name is Nakula. The same as my kitten. Somehow he came with that name. And the second chakra is where we have this burgeoning delight of the senses, exploring the world. And as you become a yogi or a meditator or a servant of life or community or land, it's really helpful to know how to chaperone your senses so you aren't hither and thither like a river with no riverbanks. So when you're practicing that listening, it's a way of becoming even more aware of the intimacy, the immediacy, the immensity, and really practicing having some inner leadership with your senses. So we're also trying to prevent craving and aversion from overwhelming us. So in that regard, each time we come to listen again, imagine that at the second chakra, you're gaining a little bit of leadership where you won't be so likely to succumb to craving, nor to resistance or aversion. So place your hands on your shoulders, please. And we're going to do Kapalabhati, left, right, left, right. Five, four, three, two, one. Come to center. Inhale up to suspension. Exhale smoothly and completely. And again, hands to your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center and inhale again up to suspension. Exhale completely. Now please bring the right hand up and put the first 2 fingers into the center of the palm. We're going to be doing Kapalabhati with alternate nostril. This comes from my teacher in Rishikesh, and I know some of you have struggled with it. She teaches it just right, left, right, left, right, left. But our adaptation is 5 on the left, 5 on the right, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, and then down 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 like this. So it's a brisk exhale through one nostril at a time. And let's begin. Exhale completely. Close the right, inhale left. Suspend. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close the right, exhale left. Rest your hands in your lap. Notice any change in your ability to be with the intimacy, the sense that listening is something that occurs through you. If you can slide your attention from the intimacy to the immediacy, the immensity, and just back and forth between those three very slowly, noticing any greater ease or connection you have in the practice. And then please come over to your hands and knees in table pose. Christine, can you tip that computer down just slightly? Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Okay, so in table pose, when you come to your hands and knees, place your hands so they are shoulder width apart. And try to place the index finger so they're going to be parallel to each other. And then we'll inhale to cat pose as we've been doing. This is familiar to most of you. Exhale to child's pose. Touch your hips to your heels. Now inhale, roll through cat pose on your way to cow pose. Curl the toes under and exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward to plank pose. And exhale to cow pose. Touch your knees down, bring your heart forward. Inhale to cat. Exhale, child's pose, hips to heels if possible. Inhale, roll through cat into cow. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, cow pose. And once more, inhale to cat. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat pose to cow pose. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, plank pose. Now from plank pose, exhale and start walking backwards into Uttanasana. And see if you can keep the elbows straight and make tiny steps. So you have to push down to bring yourself back. As you're walking back into Uttanasana, enjoy a moment there to feel into your calves and your hamstrings. And then walk yourself forward in tiny steps with straight elbows. So when you're walking forward, you have a sense almost of rocking a little bit side to side. Place your one weight into your shoulder blade and the weight into the other shoulder blade, back and forth until you are in plank pose again. And then walk back. Again, these are tiny steps, maybe just a couple inches at a time. You might start noticing that there's a cross crawl pattern and that the low belly is having also a cross crawl experience. Enjoy your Uttanasana. And then once more, walk yourself forward. So the second chakra we say is in the lower dantian, that's the Chinese term. It's located near the sacrum and the bladder. And as you're walking forward, my hope is you can feel some of the muscles that cross over that region of your abdomen. There's your plank pose. Exhale, squeeze your right knee up to your right elbow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, left knee forward. Inhale, plank. Right knee. Plank. Left knee. Plank. Downward facing dog. And in downward dog pose, find your place where you can hold steady and listen to the sounds, including the ujjayi sound in the inner ear. And then roll your knees down to the floor. Point your toes, sit back to Vajrasana, hero's pose. Now in hero's pose, and for those of you who don't kneel comfortably, of course, make an accommodation for yourself. That means you might sit on a block or a blanket, or put something between your hips and your heels. Let's take the left hand and cross it over, put it under the right knee. Yeah, so there's pressure on the back of your knuckles there. And this is a twist into the upper back, but also the belly and the low abdomen as well. Take your right hand here and press down in little pulsations down towards your left wrist. And do that a couple of times. So you're pressing and encouraging the circulation to move down to your hand. When your hand feels as grounded as you would like it to be, and you do have your knee on top of your knuckles there, then twist to your right, place the right hand on the small of your back. Twist the lower belly to the right. So as if your belly button, we're going to go over and say hi to your right side. And you may raise your right hand up towards the sky or the ceiling. And exhale, come back down. Let's release the left hand and place both hands on your knees or thighs and notice what's happening in the zigzag of your body. And one hand might feel warmer than the other. Now take the back of the right hand under your left knee and use your left hand to make the pulsations that go down. Those pulsations are an effort to increase circulation towards your hand, but you also get to know where there's some places of, let's say, tightness or overuse in your forearm, your wrists, your fingers. When you have your hand as grounded as you would like, then take the left hand to the small of your back and twist to your left. Push your lower belly to the left. And then raise your left arm high into the twist. If you'd like, reach towards the sky or the ceiling. And then exhale and lower back down. Release and place your palms on your knees. So last week we talked about how yoga includes compressing the body in some places and then decompressing. So notice what happens after that. And then please rise up to standing for Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation. And now, Christine, can you make the camera a little taller, please? That's good. Yeah, that was well timed because I was standing up as you were lifting. Okay, for Surya Namaskar, you won't be able to see my feet the whole time because of the distance that this camera is from me, but I think you know well enough and you can follow my words or you can improvise if you get any bit confused. And so to the top of your mat, please. Join your hands at your heart. With your Ujjayi inhale, raise your arms wide and up. Exhale, come down to chair pose, Utkatasana. Place the left arm between your two shins. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale to chair pose, raise the arms. Inhale, right arm down, twist to your left. Exhale, chair pose, sit your hips back a little bit more. Inhale, rise up, look up. Exhale, Uttanasana, bow forward, place your palms behind your calves. Inhale, glide your heart forward, hands on the back of the calves. Exhale, a deep bow towards your legs. Let's do that again. Inhale, glide forward. Keep your hands on your calves and stretch your spine long. Exhale, bow towards the legs. And inhale, rise up all the way. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, descend, Uttanasana, hands to the floor or to your blocks. Inhale, glide forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, left toes back. Inhale, rise to your crescent. And exhale, twist to your right, bring your left arm across your right thigh. You can gaze down for stability. You could gaze at the horizon for a sense of a balance in the mind. You could gaze up at the sky for adventure. With your next inhale, sweep your left arm wide, rise back up to the crescent. And exhale, descend, touch the floor or the ground. Inhale, downward dog. And then inhale, plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, high cobra. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, plank. And inhale, downward facing dog. Okay, exhale, left foot forward. Inhale to rise, crescent. And exhale, right arm across the left thigh. Twist to your left. And again, you can choose to gaze down. That's the most stable. You could choose to gaze at the horizon. You could explore gazing up. And then exhale, release and touch the ground. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. Exhale for a deep bow towards the legs. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. And exhale, hand to the heart. Pause and notice the listening that you're able to sense happening through you. Connect with your relationship to the immediacy of sound. And the immensity of the space in which all of this is happening. And reach back to clasp your hands at the small of your back, please. Roll the shoulders back, and we'll start Surya Namaskar from here. Inhale to a standing back bend. Exhale, Uttanasana. Hands clasped. Inhale the heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, lightly touch the ground and step your left toes straight back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, rise up, crescent. Keep the arms pressing back as you raise up to the crown of your skull. The lift of the crown of the skull is dependent upon the first chakra, second chakra, the alignment of the pelvic floor and your pelvis, and the tone of the low belly. If you have your balance, you may also raise your heart, your throat, and your gaze. And then keeping the legs strong, as you exhale, glide forward, keeping the hands clasped together. Bow your torso down just to the inside of your right thigh. Raise your arms up towards the sky or the ceiling. And then exhale, release to touch the ground. Inhale, downward dog pose. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, high cobra. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, plank. Downward facing dog pose. And exhale, left foot forward. Reach back to clasp the hands. Rise up. So long as your pose is steady, you can also choose to raise your chest, your heart, and your throat, and your gaze. Remind yourself that your stability starts at the root and is supported by the second, and then upwards, upwards. Now exhale, glide forward. Bring your torso to the inside of your left thigh. Release the weight of your head, but take the arms up towards the sky or the ceiling. And then exhale, lightly touch the floor or the ground. And inhale, step forward, heart forward. Exhale, bow towards the legs. Let's clasp the hands one more time, please. And inhale, rise up to a standing back bend. And then from upright, release your hands to your heart. And then at the top of your mat, from where you're standing, bend both knees a tiny bit and cross your right ankle over your left knee and sit down. Now, I said that simply, like, oh, just sit down. Of course, you're keeping your balance. Where does that come from? From your foot naturally and the leg muscles, but then into your mental concentration, the pelvic floor, the inner belly, your hips, your breathing, everything synchronized together. Bring your hands to your heart. And then take the palms together to the inside of your right arch. And you can slide down to the forearm. Or maybe for some of you to the elbow. And while keeping your balance, you may start twisting to your left. Depending on your confidence or your balance, you could move your gaze to the left on the horizon or up towards the sky. And then we're going to exhale back to center, hands to the heart. And then press down, rise up, place both feet, raise the arms. And Uttanasana. You could, if you had to have a name for that position, which we're basically improvising, we're making it up. I know we've done it before, so it's familiar to some of you. But if you had to name it, we could use the name Nataraj, the standing one leg dancing Shiva position. Raise back up to standing, we'll do the other side. We bend both knees. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. And the arms can go forward to help you sit down. Initially, the arms are a part of your balance because as you reach your hips back, you may have more confidence that you won't fall over backwards. Then bring your hands to your heart. Lift the corners of the mouth. That means smile at your efforts. And take the hands down the inside of your left arch. And if you like, you can raise the right arm and twist to your right. And return your right hand, left hand to your heart. Press down with the right outer hip into your heel. Rise up to stand, raise the arms. And Uttanasana. Now from Uttanasana, let's rise up to stand and take a seat again. And if you can just lower that a bit once more for me, Christine, that would be great. Thank you. Yeah, great. Come to Sukhasana, please, with your right shin on the outside, left shin on the inside. I said this yesterday or the day before. In Sukhasana, this is a more narrow base. In Siddhasana, it's a wider base like this. So right shin on the outside. Bring the back of your left hand around to the outside, and if possible, place it on the floor. That means that you have to bend forward and twist. So the back of the hand around on the floor like this. Yeah. And use your right hand to press your left forearm firmly down. And then raise your right arm and twist to your right. Press your left forearm into your right thigh for support, but most of all, use the deep inner belly for the twist. And then exhale around to center. Rise up to your seat, place both hands on your knees. Please change your ankles. Okay, take the back of the right hand around the outside of the left thigh. Yep. Good. So you have a twist, you have a forward bend, and a little bit of a side bend all together. Take the left hand to press your right forearm down. And then raise your left arm and twist to your left. And the twist is supported by the outer body, but most of all, by the deep inner belly. When you exhale, come back to center and just give yourself a few moments to review the concepts of craving and aversion, which you might have felt in that particular pose. You can sum it up as wanting things to be different. Now we're going to shift to Siddhasana. So place the left foot on the inside, right heel on the outside. Come down to Siddhasana. They have a lot of sun. Okay, just follow my words. I can see you better than you can see me, but it's going to be an ever-changing thing. We're out here in nature. So you have the two heels lined up. So pubic bone, left heel, right heel like this. Take the back of the left hand around the outside of your right thigh. And as you're able to, place your fingers under the outside of your right knee. So the heel of your, the heel of your left hand, is facing towards the ground or towards the floor. So there's already a little side bend, already a twist, already a forward bend. Lean your pose a little bit more forward. So a little more forward than upright. This is a forward bend. We're adding a twist. There is a side bend. And as you're able to, you can raise your right arm to the sky. Notice how you work from the deep inner belly towards the twist. And you may have to catch glimpses of the mind habit called wanting things to be different. Okay, with an exhale, release your right arm. Come back around to center, upright in your Siddhasana. Notice the afterglow or the echo that comes from the twist. And now switch your feet. So you're going to have the right heel on the inside, left heel on the outside. It's a wide base. Bring the right hand across. You have to go to your left, and the upper back on the right side is going to get more broad. Place your hand under the outside of your left knee. Lean a little bit forward, more forward than upright. You can use your left hand to support your right hand. When you're ready to, and insofar as you're inclined to, raise your left arm up towards the twist. And then exhale, lower down. Return to Siddhasana. Notice any of those lingering, wanting things to be different mental habits, but also let them promptly fade so you arrive here in the present. Again, with that sense of the immediacy of sound, which is calling to you to be in the present moment. The immensity beyond sound, which reminds us how vast this all is and how precious, even though how tiny, how precious we are. Each one of us. And then this, which I refer to as the intimacy, that inner sense of something's listening through you. Keeping the left foot in Siddhasana, please take your right leg out to the right. The pose is called Janusirsasana. We're going to do the form of the pose where we turn towards the straight leg. There is going to be a little twist in the pose because how you've set up here, if you take the left thigh out to the side, right leg out to the side, and you're centered, to turn towards your leg, you have to twist the inner belly, the low belly. So rotate to your right, please. And raise your left arm. And exhale, come out over your right leg, keeping the left hip grounded. You may place your right hand just to the outside of your right shin on a block or on the floor, and let that support add to the twist of your lower belly to the right. Drop the left hip back and down while the inner belly swishes to the right. You may also choose to gaze to your right. And some of you will find that you can take the back of your left hand to the outside of your right foot, the outside of the arch. Use a smooth inhale to rise up to center, lift the left arm as you come up, and then relax the left arm down. Let's change sides. So the right foot comes into Siddhasana and the left leg out to Janusirsasana. Raise up through the heart and twist to your left. Raise your right arm. And exhale, come out over your left leg. You may place your left hand on the floor or on a block near enough by that you can use the left hand to support the twist of your inner belly to your left. Roll your right outer hip down towards the floor. And you'll find that you could put the back of your right hand to the outside of your left foot, the outer arch. And please rise up with your inhale, raise your right arm. And exhale back to center. Let's pull the left foot into Siddhasana. And rest your hands over your knees again. You listen to the orchestra of sound. As the sound comes to touch the inner ear, that intimacy, you may have a felt sense that life is coming towards you. You are already here. You have already been welcomed. Please come to Shavasana. When you recline in Shavasana, do that comfortably enough. Don't make a big production of it. This is where you get to integrate your practice. And your practice integrates you. You may close the eyes, but see if you can just have a light sense that the ears stay open. Allow yourself to rest and be restored while keeping the ears gently open, not with anticipation or expectation. Continue to rest with a gentle listening. You're not wandering into thought, neither daydreaming nor planning.